This is serious business, so I'm not going to waste any time. Nope, not today. This is the only accurate dessert tier list you will ever need. We'll be judging by 3 categories that I'll explain as the video goes on. Trust me, I'm fair. We have overall taste, consumability, and variety. Let's start with cookies. My opinion on cookies has changed a lot since Crumbl Cookie came out in my area, and I've got to say they do a really good job with theirs. Now, I'm not sponsored or anything, but we can work on that, baby girl. For overall taste, I gave cookies a 7 out of 10. Why? Because of the law of highs and lows. There are a lot of cookies that I would consider perfect, but those are just the best of the best, because taste is subjective. And since taste is subjective, the only way to get an accurate gauge in the taste area is to evaluate the dessert's ceiling and its floor. Even the worst cookies are still edible, maybe a 5 or so, but the best cookies range from 9 to 10. You following me? So overall taste is somewhere in the middle. 7 is fair. Our next category is consumability, which apparently isn't a real word, but I'm a rebel, so here it is. Consumability is just how easy it is to binge the food without feeling disgusting, or eat it with your hands or on the go. The best dessert shouldn't be restricted by your ability to find silverware and a table. It's gotta be easy to eat. Cookies get a solid 8 out of 10 here. They're mobile depending on the size, and you can eat more than one of them without looking like Luffy after dinner. If you don't get that reference, be better. Next up is variety, and while cookies are incredibly diverse, we'll find that there are even more diverse foods on this list. 9 out of 10. This gives us a total of 24 points out of 30, which is a solid B on the tier list. Looking good, cookies. Looking good. Before we continue, just be warned that I'm going to make a lot of you mad with this list. Subscribe anyway. Next up is cake, which scored a 5 out of 10 in taste. And before you finish typing your hate comments, hear me out. It's just math. Cakes are an incredibly expansive category and even scored the first 10 out of 10 on variety. Honestly, they deserve their own video. But we're judging categories here, not your grandma's special recipe. Now be honest, you've had some pretty crappy cake in your life, haven't you? Too much frosting, not enough frosting, way too mushy, way too dry, etc. The fact is, as much as I love some cakes, there's a million ways cake can go wrong, even your grandma's. Some cake is straight up trash, and the average between 1 and 10 is 5, so don't blame me, blame math. For consumability, cake gets a 3, because you usually can't eat more than one slice without feeling blah, and you're always stuck to a table when you're eating it, giving cake a total score of 18 out of 30, putting it squarely in D tier. Cupcakes are next, and they fix a lot of the problems that I just mentioned with cake. Taste is a 5 like cake, and for all the same reasons, but consumability is way better. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I'd rank it higher, but let's be real, with the frosting and the sprinkles and stuff, it could be better suited for on-the-go eating than it currently is. Variety is the same as cake because cupcakes are the same as cake, for the most part. 10 out of 10. This puts cupcakes in C tier. Respectable. Now, s'mores. I'll be honest, I didn't even want to put this on the list. I don't feel like it belongs here, but have you ever met a s'mores fan? They're rabid creatures who want everyone to like the thing that they like, and if you don't, then you're a horrible person. Basically, Taylor Swift fans. So I'll rate them, but this is going to be brutal, I'm just going to be honest. S'mores earned a 6 for taste because they have no balance. It's a sweet graham cracker, a sweet marshmallow, and a sweet bar of chocolate. It's just a cloyingly sweet amalgamation of sugars with no complexity at all. Honestly, 6 out of 10 is generous. It scored an 8 on consumability because as easily consumable as it is, let's face it. If you've ever gone camping or went to a bonfire, then you know that the first thing to get barfed up is the s'mores. Somebody thought they could handle eating 3 of those sugary bricks, and now their white, sticky barf is on everyone's shoes. I will never forgive you, Jason. Sadly, the ranking only gets worse because s'mores are single-handedly the worst dessert for variety. What's there to change? Each component is a necessary part of what makes a s'more a s'more. You can't swap it out, you can't customize it, it is what it is, and it is a 1 out of 10. This gives us a total score of 15 out of 30, and our first F. I'm not sorry about it. Next up, we have pies, and our cake stands are going to hate this, but pies are mathematically better. For taste, they get a 7, because like cookies, even the bad ones have something going for them. The only real issues you'll run into are whether or not the crust to filling ratio is right, and whether or not you like the filling itself. Which brings me to my next point, variety. You can put so many things in a pie crust that we even have savory pies. Chicken? That's a pie. Fruit? Pie. Chocolate? Pie. Cheese? Cake. Which is technically a pie. If pies don't deserve a 10 here, then nothing does. Last we have consumability, which is sadly only a 4 because pies, like cake, restrict you too much. C tier. Ice cream and its counterparts are next, and to be totally honest, I'm not even a big ice cream fan. I know, put the pitchforks down. There are other desserts I prefer, but even I can't deny that this ranks pretty high. For taste, it scores an 8 out of 10 because even bad ice cream is a good little treat. You ever buy that industrial-sized Neapolitan ice cream for lower middle-class families with too many kids? We did, and it was bussin', respectfully. It also scores an 8 out of 10 for consumability because it's hardly limited by location. They sell it in the streets, for crying out loud. You ever been sad and eaten an entire tub of ice cream? Yeah, me neither. But I've heard that you usually feel better after the ordeal, not worse, so yeah. Now, as good as it is, there are some things that ice cream can't fix, like your mental health. Sometimes you need to talk to a trusted professional, so today's video is sponsored by Helping Others Heal. If you click the link in the top right corner, then you can go to their website, and if you live in the right area, then you can get the help that you need today. Back to the list. For variety, ice cream scores a 10 out of 10, because there's an ice cream flavor out there for everyone. Even mint chocolate chip if you enjoy consuming literal toothpaste with your dessert, you sicko. With that, ice cream scores a solid B, and that's coming from a guy who isn't even crazy about the stuff. Next up is no-bake desserts. I'm talking fudge, peanut butter balls, pudding, whatever you call this stuff. Taste is an 8 out of 10, because I've never had bad fudge. It's almost a prerequisite to taste good if you're a no-bake dessert. Very strong, much wow. Consumability is high for obvious reasons, 9 out of 10. And variety scores a 10 out of 10. Seriously, just Google no-bake desserts. It's ridiculous how many options there are. With all that, no-bake scores a surprising A tier, so do that. Next category is fruit. For the vegans, I guess. I don't know. I love fruit, but just because something is sweet doesn't mean it gets to be dessert, okay? Imagine having the best meal of your life at a fancy restaurant, and the waiter brings you an apple and says, "This is our finest dessert option." You would be upset. So for taste, I've got to give it a 2. Even the best fruit in the world isn't going to cut it for dessert. For consumability, I have to give it an 8, however, because most fruits were made to be eaten with flexibility. Thank you, God. 10 out of 10 for variety, because I assure you, you don't even know half the fruits that exist out there. Okay, you don't even know. 20 out of 30 gives us D tier, meaning s'mores are literally so bad at being dessert that you'd be better off eating a banana. The vegans actually won something incredible. Next, we have tarts. And if you stuck around this long, why don't you subscribe? I'm funny sometimes, I think. Tarts are to pies what cupcakes are to cakes, which gives tarts so many advantages by covering every weakness that pies present. They score a 9 out of 10 for taste, because if you can make an off-brand toaster strudel with the cheapest ingredients possible taste this good, then the only way to go is up. Unlike pies, tarts are meant to be enjoyed anywhere and everywhere. They're uninhibited by the shackles of a knife and a fork. 9 for consumability. And for variety, another incredible score of 9 out of 10. Tarts are a nearly perfect dessert because they excel at all the things that matter. So that's the list. Just sad that we couldn't get a perfect score. You almost fell for it. It's brownies, you fool. Get it together. God, I love brownies.
Me too.
They're just so good.
I love them.
I could have one of these every single day and never get tired.
I love you.
What? Taste gets a perfect score. Because I kid you not, you cannot mess up brownies. You can't do it. I make mine from scratch, and one day I discovered that I didn't have any eggs. Uh-oh, someone made an oopsie whoopsie, or did I? I threw some mayonnaise in that bad boy as a replacement, and they were just as good. Consumability is a perfect 10. Brownies were made for versatility. Even the gooey middle piece can't stop you from waddling around the house in your underwear while you eat it. Not that I've done that, but I've heard some people in other countries, it's not even weird. You just Now you might be thinking, but Block Kid, brownies don't have variety. Brownies, blondies, red velvet brownies, cheesecake swirl brownies, peanut butter brownies, cosmic brownies, salted caramel brownies, chocolate covered strawberry brownies, cookie dough brownies, cookies and cream brownies, coconut brownies, chopped walnut brownies. Must I continue?
Could you?
Powdered sugar brownies, s'mores brownies, pecan pie brownies, peppermint bark brownies, Samoa brownies, trash brownies, Oreo brownies, cherry Garcia brownies. The list goes on, and you only think there's no variety because you're scared of change, old man. The future is now. The winner is clear. Brownies is the best dessert, and if you don't like it, then, well, tell me why your dessert should be higher in the comments. Check out my other videos if you made it this far. If this video does well, then maybe I'll make more tier lists in the future. And don't forget to check out helpingothersheal.com. You can get the therapy that you need to help your mental health, and that's important. Be sure to tell me what I should mathematically rank next in the comments. Later.